Love Knots Monday night, taking your relationship to the next level with Maria Romano.
All right, so we're live. Hi, everybody. It's Monday night with Maria. Let's see. And today is March 22nd. Oh my gosh, is this year just getting away from us, isn't it? Huh? So, a couple of things. How was your weekend? Anybody want to tell me how your weekend was? Did you do something fun? I married quite a few people. That's what I got to do over the weekend. That's my weekends for now. So tonight, the topic. Tonight we're going to talk about, are you ready to move in with your honey, right? You're moving to the next level. So you decided this is it, right? This is the plunge. You're ready. You're ready. You're so ready to move in. Well, there's a couple of things I'd like to cover if you're thinking about it, to just give you some food for thought. Okay? So some food for thought. So let me get my glasses on here because I have my notes. All right. So let's talk about what you shouldn't do. Okay. First of all, what you shouldn't do is you need to really soul search and not rush into moving in together. There are many people that I know that I've come across in my lifetime, even before I got involved with coaching people, dating, and even people that I wound up marrying, is how long do you two really know each other? And how much time have you spent together? Now, some of you have been quarantined together, completely different situation. But if you just met somebody not too long ago, and you're looking for that comfort and you like that security, that's great. But remember, when you make that plunge, you're really uprooting yourself. And depending upon what point you're at in life, maybe your children are out of the house and you're ready to move in with somebody, or maybe you still have children living with you. So you need to make sure that you are not rushing into moving in together. And I see that happen. People meet people all the time and they're just ready now to take the plunge. So you really need to soul search and think about that, because maintaining your identity, your status, and we used to say in my world, is you always want to have control of the pink slip. Now, for those of you that are old enough to know what a pink slip is, it means a pink slip means you own your own car outright. Okay. It's the title to a vehicle. And years ago, that was a term they used. And it's a term that people will use frequently that are in my age category, maybe not in many of your age categories, where you're giving up your pink slip if you're moving in with somebody, because you always want to maintain your dignity and your self-worth. Okay, depending upon what the situation is. You don't want to move in with somebody because you need to be supported by someone. That's the worst. That is the worst situation. You know what? Go find a relative, go find a friend before you resort to doing that, because that will positively ruin the relationship. You don't want to be dependent or codependent. So those are the questions you need to ask yourself. Okay, now, how many of you have been in a relationship? And I know I had a dear friend share this with me, and I went through this several years ago. That's why the relationship worked, where you had somebody and they kept coming over and spending the night. And before you know it, they had their clothes, more of their toiletries, and maybe they had their golf clubs or whatever it is, or their exercise equipment. And before you know it, their pets are there all the time, where they just slowly start cohabitating, right? Just like a turtle. Have you been in that situation? How does it make you feel? It didn't make me feel good. I've got to tell you that. I felt like this person was invading my privacy in some respects without being courteous enough to say, hey, do you mind if I, bring this over here, so on and so forth. And I know a dear friend of mine, she went through that with somebody that she was in a relationship for a while. And she said, before you know it, he just took advantage of the situation. So don't take advantage of a situation. And if you want to be successful, and I mean really successful with your partner, you need to sit down and have a conversation before you get ready to move in. And the conversation you need to talk about, where are you going to move? Are you moving into his house, her house? Okay. And what is going to happen to your place? Are you selling your place right away? Is that person selling their place right away? These are questions you need to ask. And if you decide to cohabitate together, what if something happens to one of you? Okay. So you want to make sure that you have some sort of a legal document signed up. And this is what I tell people, especially if you have some assets, go seek out some legal advice. That's what they're there for. Okay, that's what an attorney's there for, to help you. You know, I always recommend when you move in with somebody, they may move in with you, you have an actual agreement. You have a written agreement. Because if it doesn't work, you want to be fair to the other person, and you just don't want to tell them to leave, but you want to maybe give them a little bit of time. Because if you don't, and if you get into a situation where it doesn't work out, and you wind up going into family court because you're trying to get somebody to leave your home, okay, that can be a whole nother ballgame. So you really want to protect yourself, and you're protecting the other party too. Somebody might take offense from it, but you know what? No matter what, even if you're moving from apartment to apartment, you both need to have an agreement, and you need to talk about money. Who's going to handle what? And also be prepared if somebody has a loss of income, somebody gets ill. Those are things, have the conversation. Be prepared so you're not surprised. How are you going to handle family members coming over? You know, my house, my daughter, kids, people will come over anytime they want. My home is open to my family and friends. Not everybody likes that. So if I were to move into someone else's home, how would they feel? And when you do move in, and I'm going to be posting on my blog, there was a great article that Redfin put out. They asked several dating experts, and they included me, yours truly, about what to do if you're getting ready to move in with somebody. So one thing is, first of all, you need to determine, are you buying a place together, or are you going to lease a place together? And are you going to, sell your home, sell the other party's home? And I'm going to tell you something. I don't recommend running out and selling your home. Rent your home, lease your home. And both of you maybe lease a home together. It's a trial period. We're not setting you up for failure, but we're setting you up where you have all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. No matter what age you are, guys and girls, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You have a little or a lot. Okay, you want to make sure that you have your bases covered. It's smart. It's only good, prudent decisions, okay, that you're protecting both of you. But if you decide, so if you're going to, and maybe you want to buy a place together, that's fine. Again, you need to seek out legal advice in case something happens to one of you, or you decide to part ways. But if you are getting ready to blend two households together, go watch the movie on Netflix. It's a documentary called The Minimalist. And I've spoke about this before. This is a great documentary. It gets you thinking about what you need, what you don't need, and you start weeding out. And, really, you're decluttering. You're getting rid of. So if the two of you are going to be moving in together, you need to set up your space together. You don't need to have 3 of everything. You don't even need 2 of everything. Because you want to walk into an area, a home, wherever you're going to be living, and make it your home. But you don't want to feel like you have all this clutter, right? And you need to discuss how you each like to live. Some people, my late husband, he used to love stacking his stuff in the office. It used to make me crazy, but I used to shut the office door. And this is what he would say to me: Maria, it's not eating any bread. It's not costing us any money for electricity. I'm keeping it. That was his philosophy. And some people think that way. And Maria thought, we don't use it, get rid of it. Okay. So you need to have those conversations when you're moving in. When you're moving in, make sure you each have your own sacred private space. Yes. Man cave, woman's cave, whatever it is, even if it's just a corner, you both need to have some alone time. I think that's important with any relationship. So you need to set those boundaries. You need to talk about who is going to be coming over, who's entertaining, things like that. Or did they have family? You have family, because you don't want your family and friends not to feel welcome, right? They used to come to your home, and now maybe you've moved in with your significant other, and that's not the case. Again, you need to have those conversations. And that's why moving in together is really, I'm a big fan of moving in together, especially before getting married, because then you get to know each other. And that's important, to get to know somebody. You get to really know them when you live with them. The same thing they say when you travel with somebody, right? Those are two things you want to know. And this will give you an idea. And either it's going to work or it's not going to work. And it's okay, because you don't know until you actually try to do it together. But if you're moving in together, have conversations about money, have conversations about family members, things like people coming over, have your own space as well. Have the talk. If something were to happen, what would happen, and make sure if you need to seek legal advice, definitely do that. Okay. And again, you're blending in certain, two households, try to whittle it down. And that way, then when you walk into a place together and you live together, you don't feel like there's a lot of clutter, that you can breathe. It just helps for the relationship. They say that a cluttered home is a cluttered mind, and that's true. And you don't want to do that going in. So watch that Netflix series, The Minimalist. Great series. It'll get you to thinking. Got me thinking. I'm getting rid of a lot of stuff. My daughter's on my back. Mom, save this for me. And I said, well, you know how moms are. We try to save so much for our kids, but after a while, it's like, you know what? You're never going to use it. So enjoy yourself. If you're getting ready to move to the next level, I wish you well. And do so. Just make sure that you protect yourself, each other. It's just healthy for the relationship. Have an agreement, even if you handwrite it yourself. And as another tip, every relationship, married or not, you should have a check-in time where you evaluate each other. You evaluate right when you're in a position for a company. Evaluate each other. How are you doing as a wife? How are you doing as a husband? How are you doing as a partner in general? A mom and dad. So these are great tips. So in the meantime, let's see. Oh, I'm just about done. And I hope everybody's well. Tomorrow I'm going for my second vaccine shot. So I'm very excited. And then ready to bust out there again and, get out and network a bit more. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, please remember, just send me a message or just email me, maria@trueloveknots.com. And it's TRUELOVE. And then it's KNOTS.com. I'd love to hear about your experiences, especially if you lived with somebody and it didn't work out, or you're living with somebody and it does work out, and what tips you recommend. So in the meantime, continue to stay happy, healthy, and safe, and always remember to spread love. Good night.